Hello everyone and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria. Today we are talking about the lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces occurring on the 17th or perhaps the 18th of September 2024, depending on where you live. We're going to look at the energy around this eclipse, and we're also going to pull some cards for your signs. So make sure you do watch your sun, moon, and rising signs for the big picture. And if you find that you enjoy this content, and if you enjoy my channel, please hit the like button on this video. It does help it get seen, so I thank you in advance. And of course, if you subscribe, then you will see my content going forward without having to look for it too hard. So this particular lunar eclipse, it's a super moon, it's a full moon, and this is in the sign of Pisces at 25 degrees. So this eclipses in general do bring about an astrological wild card, bringing in fated events. And full moon eclipse can bring about endings. We're closing out a chapter, we're opening up a new one. And this is the first eclipse in the Pisces-Virgo axis. So we're going to see this play out over the next couple of years. There will be a couple other different eclipses in other signs in between, but this one is significant. Pisces is endings, right? Pisces is the 12th house energy. Pisces also can be a little bit chaotic, ruled by Neptune. Pisces, highly spiritual, very intuitive energy, very creative, very not so much passionate necessarily, but creative, right? Very, it's like we really do want to tap into our emotions when Pisces is at play. Virgo, on the other hand, is very ordered, very practical, very down to earth, wants to create order, Virgo, out of chaos, Pisces. So this can be a time when we really do need to look at the balance in our lives, the balance between our physical world, Virgo, the things we do day to day, Virgo, and our dream state, our spiritual selves, our emotional body, our relationships, right, with ourselves, with other people, with the world around us, right? And that's Pisces energy coming in there. So how do we find the balance? That's what we're going to be tasked with over the next couple of years. But this can bring about full moons in general are about a completion of a cycle, and eclipses, we're eclipsing something out of our lives in order to eclipse something in, right? We're cleaning the path and we're making the way forward. So eclipses are very important as far as astrology goes, because they do bring change. And it quite often is really kind of getting things out in the open and dealing with things that have been kind of stagnant for quite some time, right? And, there's always something in our lives where we know we're stuck, or we know we're in a situation that's really not allowing us growth or the happiness that we want. And so something's got to shift. So some people will be having major spiritual shifts at this time. Some of you will be having major epiphanies at this time. It's like, whoa, I didn't see that before. Holy moly. Eclipses can also bring things out of the darkness into the light. We do also have, at this time of this eclipse, we have Uranus retrograde in the sign of Taurus. So this can bring about shakeups in our financial situation, in how we find our resources. This is also kind of breaking us free from old patterns and behaviors, right? So we can get a lot of surprises and some unpredictability with Uranus and Taurus, but it is a perfect time for us to cleanse and purge all toxicity for the rest of 2024. Pluto is also retrograde, has been for quite some time now, but it's just dipped back into the sign of Capricorn for the very last time in our lives. So with this energy, this is about reflecting on where we've been, what we've experienced, especially over the last, since about 2008 or so, and we're preparing for the new age, right? Some of you could get second chances, or maybe it's a major closing out of something here. So, with all of this stuff going on, it's really setting us up for freedom, to find a better way for tomorrow. So, some of you could have some big surprises coming in. Some of you are just finding that a door is opening in here as well. We do also have a conjunction with Saturn at the time of this eclipse. And of course, Saturn is very karmic in its energy. So there is a karmic element to this lunar eclipse. So Saturn is, of course, very much known as, the planet that teaches us something, right? And Saturn is, of course, the ruler of Capricorn. So this is where Pluto is right now, right? So big reflective energy. So you might find freedom from restriction at this time. Something could be really opening up for you. Saturn ultimately does not deny us anything, but Saturn does delay things to make sure that we're ready for the responsibility of something, right? And so it's usually very much to our benefit, even though it doesn't feel that way to us. So with this conjunction to Saturn, this could potentially be something very positive that is happening for you guys. So let's hope so. We can actually look back. Full moons, of course, we do reflect, and eclipses is where we do kind of look back a little bit. And there are retrogrades going on. Two of the slowest moving, very outer planets, Uranus and Pluto, are both retrograde, right? So it's a big time of reflection and lots of changes going on. But if we look back to the last two lunar eclipses in Pisces that occurred around this degree that we're having it at this year. There's been other eclipses in between, but we're talking about these two specifically. They both happened at 24 degrees Pisces. This one is at 25, so very similar. One was September 16th, 2016. So look back to the last few months of 2016, what was going on. The one before that was 1997, also September 16th, and also at 24 degrees. So again, look back to that. When I look back, I know exactly what was going on, right? One of them was in 1997 was a big career change for me. It was great. 2016, everything blew up, right? September, October 2016, career, relationships, you name it. And man, oh man, was that some karmic cycle energy that was there. So very disruptive, but it was also by my own hand for part of it. So, but it freed me up for the future. Challenging to deal with, yes. Painful, yes. But ultimately very rewarding. So if you look back to those two dates, then this could give you a clue as to what was going on. So having said all of that, for some things, we're in the hands of fate. And for some things, you may be pulling the rug out of something or welcoming something brand new into your life. So if you are watching this full video, check out all of your timestamps down below. And if you are watching just the individual videos, because I did break them up for this time, then we'll get right into your cards right now. But have a great eclipse, and I'll see you guys next time. And Scorpio, for you guys, this eclipse is going to occur in your house of fun. In your fifth house. This is all about love and romance. This is about your hobbies, your interests, the things that bring a smile to your face, the things that are fun, the things that you're interested in. So this can be an eclipse for you where you might have something that you really want to do, something that gives you a sense of fulfillment. And in the eclipse energy, you could be recognizing that you may need to make some changes in your day-to-day life, Virgo, so that you can find more time to do the things that you love. Sometimes that might mean making big changes, sometimes little small tweaks. Sometimes you may need to establish or reinforce some boundaries somewhere. But this can be a fairly I don't want to really say fairly lighthearted eclipse because it's not really for anybody, but I would say you get a little bit of a break. And it can be an eclipse where you're just like, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to have a good time. I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of healing. I've done some changes. And, I'm just going to put some things on the back burner for now. I'm just going to go out and enjoy myself. Ultimately, though, the fifth house really does speak to your heart. And this can be where you're maybe called upon to do some inner work there to open your heart. If you are wanting and desiring and yearning for love and romance. We need to go within and say, okay, am I ready? Do I have time in my life right now for love and romance? Do I have time for friends? Do I have time? So we need to open our heart and say, okay, yes, maybe I do want love and romance, or maybe I want to spark up a friendship and see what happens. Maybe I want to be a little bit more social. But I keep doing these things day to day to day to day to day that keep me so busy that I don't have time for any of this stuff. Is that by accident or design? Sometimes we need to really dig deep and we need to be very honest with ourselves, right? Because it can be that thing where deep in your heart, maybe you do want love. You tell your friends maybe that, oh, no, I'm good. I'm happy single, right? I don't really need love in my life. I'm everything that I need. And while on many levels that may be true, maybe some deep little corner compartment of your heart that says, I really want love, right? I really need a connection with another human on a different level than just, than just family and things like that. So I do feel that there is some inner work that's being done with some of you here that unlocks your heart and really brings to the forefront what you truly desire. If there's things in your world that are not making you happy, I feel that you're going to shift your focus onto the things that do. And I feel like some of you here are really going to be cleaning house. And you're like, do you make me happy? Do you serve a purpose? Nope, out, gone. In very crystal clear, decisive way, decluttering many areas, many aspects of your life, of your world. But it's so that you can welcome in new things. It's so you can have more time, so that you can do more things that put a big old fat smile on your face. We have transcending Atlantean energy coming in here for you. So got a little bit of either history or mythology, depending on how you look at it. But transcending, you are having a breakthrough of some kind. You are transcending the human vibe, the human experience, and you are moving into different realms. Pay very close attention to your intuition here, Scorpio. Your ruler, Pluto, has just gone on September 1st, retrograde in the sign of Capricorn for the very last time in our lifetimes. It'd be another couple hundred years at least before Pluto enters Capricorn again. And with this comes big breakthroughs, big endings, this big transformative energy. And it's to cleanse us and purge us so that we can ascend to new heights once Pluto goes direct and once Pluto enters Aquarius again, November, goes direct October 11th, enters Aquarius again in November. And you are one of the chosen ones here. So you are really in touch with your spiritual self at this full moon, at this eclipse. You're very much in touch with your heart space, all of your chakras. Do some energy work, do some spiritual work, do some meditation. And I do feel that you will experience some sort of shift. Maybe some unexplained weird happening goes on. Maybe some crazy dreams at this time. And I feel like the next few months are going to be incredibly interesting for you. Positive, positive, positive change. Spiritual growth. Maybe a little bit of magic in the air for you guys. So you're being invited here in this energy to transcend, to rise above the mundane. The things that don't matter. Let the little things go, Scorpio, okay? We do not have to get stabby, okay, or take revenge or anything like that on all the little things. Let the little stuff go because there's bigger things in store for you. Wow, we have got hot moon here again with extremes. So this is like the third time this card has come up. So when we get this card, I feel like for you, Scorpio, it's very heated energy, very passionate energy. I mean, number one, with this eclipse happening in your 5th house, right, there can be some passions that do come to the forefront. This passion can come via a person. It can come via something that you are passionate about, like a hobby, a creative endeavor, something that you really lights you up from inside. So this can be where, you are maybe shifting your focus again onto these new things, or maybe there's a passion project that you want to finish, that you want to wrap up. You're tying up the loose ends. It can be very exciting for you. It's very exciting in the hot moon energy, but very passionate, very heated, very fiery. Now, having said that, of course, the extremes energy can be a reminder, again, about letting the little things go, right? We don't need to take everything from 0 and crank it up to 100 every single time. Maybe someone said something to you that maybe you took a little bit offense to. Maybe they meant it, maybe they didn't. Who knows? Are you going to be like water off a duck's back and let it roll? Or are you going to really ramp up that energy and go on full on attack mode? This may not be the time for you to do that. Maybe this is something that's shifting within you. We want to save our energy for the good stuff, right? So just be a reminder of those extreme mood swings and extreme reactions that can sometimes very much happen around not just full moons, but also around eclipses, and sometimes about life in general as well. Extremes can also represent your energy, right? And do you get obsessed about certain things, right? Do you have balance in your life? When we have extremes, we take something up to 100, right? But then we neglect something else. So balance is the key in everything in life. And I think I said in my intro that with the Pisces Virgo axis that we're going to have eclipses in for the next couple of years. This is about finding the balance between order and chaos, right? Order being Virgo, and chaos, floaty energy, right, is Pisces. Pisces, very creative energy, right? So where do we find the balance? And that is what you're being called upon to do in your spiritual self, your physical self, your day-to-day routines, right? Remember, when we take something to extreme, we neglect something else. And then we start to do things like filling the void with things that aren't healthy, right? So find that balance. We have the 9 of Pentacles, absolutely spectacular energy. Love that. I'll flip them all over. We've got the 9 of Swords, Knight of Swords. And we have the 4 of Wands. Some of you are getting some spectacular news at this time. The Knight of Swords is quite often a messenger, right? And quite often something quick, something maybe you didn't expect, a surprise, something coming in out of the blue, out of nowhere, right? Or something that just happens really quickly. And with the 9 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands, this is something good, okay? Something you wanted, something you wished for, something you hoped for, something you manifested in your life. The 9 of Pentacles is something coming to fruition for you. It's a completion, and it is one of abundance and success. It is one where we feel like all of our needs are met and we have more to give. It's one where we treat ourselves as well to something we truly desire, because the 9 of Pentacles can be this luxurious energy, right? It's indulgence because we deserve it and we can afford it, right? So whether this is simply doing something luxurious and extravagant for yourself that is focused on your spiritual or physical well-being, maybe you make a pact with yourself to have a bubble bath every Friday night at 8 p.m. And you're not just going to have any bubble bath. You're going to put in rose petals, and you're going to put in a fancy bath bomb and some, essential oils, and you're going to light candles, and you're just going to soak and just let all your worries drift away, right? Maybe you're going to buy yourself some tools and some supplies that are part of a creative hobby that you've always wanted to learn or that you want to get back into. So we're treating ourselves incredibly well when we have the Nine of Pentacles. Does it have to cost any money? No. Can it cost money? Yeah. Right? But this is something coming to fruition in the most positive of ways. The Four of Wands is cause for celebration. This is known as the 1111 card in some circles, right? So you could have some wish coming true somewhere around this eclipse or like the next few months. Okay, it's not necessarily a one and done, a one-day deal. You could have invitations and offers and opportunities to get out there, socialize, meet people, ultimately celebrate and have fun with that Four of Wands. But this is about planting roots, feeling grounded, feeling stable in your energy. And this is an energy of celebration. And it is quite often very people-y in its energy, right? Going out, going for social activities, going to parties and events and meeting people and basically just having a really good time. So you got some great energies and some great possibilities coming in here. So always a deeper message with the eclipses, but anything goes with eclipses, right? Faded energies, faded events, things that are already in motion, surprises, things coming out of the woodwork, second chances, perhaps there as well. But with that transcending energy, I feel also that there is a big shift happening here for you guys. And of course, your chart ruler, Pluto, may certainly be helping you along the way, but, could also be shaking things up just a little bit in ways that you didn't quite expect, because often to bring in all of this wonderful abundance, we do need to make room for it. I'm going to leave that there for you, Scorpio. I hope there was something here for you. If you enjoyed your reading or if there was something that spoke to you in any way, please do hit that like button. It's free for you. It takes 1 second. It really does help my video get seen, and I truly do appreciate your effort. And if you do enjoy my content anyway, maybe consider subscribing to my channel. Again, free for you. But I thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful eclipse, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.